the ToastCast of TGIS. My name is Tulika and I'm very excited for today's interview. Today we have somebody who is a Toastmaster since 2017. He has also served TGIS as VP Education, which is Vice President Education. And it won't be a lie to say that he was one of the best and the most loved VPE in the history of TGIS. He is the founder of a packaging consultancy and a project management firm named Carbon Middle East, a package enthusiast and an advocate of sustainability packaging. He is actively involved in raising awareness around sustainable packaging to the general public and to the industry profession through his 2-minute awareness videos on social media. He is one of my favorite in TGIS. He is one of the valued mentor that TGIS has till today's date. I can go on and on, but this is the time to welcome him. So please help me welcoming Toastmaster Jenson George. Welcome, Jenson.
Thank you, Tulika. That is a quite extensive introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jenson, for agreeing to do this.
I'm happy to be here, Tulika. Always been happy to be part of any of TGIS's initiatives.
Jenson, I have actually mentioned you that you're one of the valued mentor or a member of TGIS, but there is one thing around you which always I feel that there is some mystery around you. So I wanted to actually address that particular topic, that I've always seen you so calm, composed, and always balanced in your thoughts and what you speak. So what is the secret?
I do not know about the mystery part, and I do not know if there is any secret to it. It's just the way my personality is, I guess. But I'm not always calm and composed as you have seen in TGIS. I am deeply involved in some of the things that I do, and packaging is one of my biggest passions. So it is just that I'm deeply involved in one thing rather than being involved in too many things.
So what I heard you saying, that be in the present and do what you do the best actually brings you the calmness.
I'm not sure being in the present. Being in the present is something I've tried. It is, but I'm not the best person to give that advice. I would rather say focus on whatever you do.
Oh,
Be focused on whatever you do, and that is something that works for me.
Oh, lovely. So as a focused man, you are very valued to TGIS. I wanted to know that what inspired you to join Toastmasters, because you are a very valuable mentor also in TGIS. So what actually inspired you?
I do not know if it was inspiration that made me join Toastmasters. It was more of a necessity.
Oh.
So before joining Toastmasters, I started my company a few years before that. So it was in 2014 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I had to pitch to different investors. I had to pitch my business model to raise funds. And in one of the events, I was part of some accelerator program, and one of the events where we were pitching to the investors, we didn't get the investment, but we got some good feedbacks. And somebody among the audience suggested, why don't you look at Toastmasters? Because you've got a good business model, but what matters is often how well can you convey the value you bring to your customers. So learn how to communicate better. So that was my first reference or my first direction towards Toastmasters. Again, I didn't take much, I didn't consider that advice much because, okay, just another club is what I thought. And I forgot about it. But a few months later, in one of the entrepreneurship groups that I was a part of, there was this invitation, the new Toastmasters Club is being formed, come over.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember the message I got from this member during that session. I thought, okay, and it's a Monday morning, I'm free, might as well go and attend it. So that is how I attended my first ever Toastmasters meeting. I attended the meeting, I liked what I saw, and I decided to become a member after the meeting was over.
Wow, interesting. So you said that it all started with a necessity.
Some of the most important decisions we take in life often starts with a necessity more than inspiration. That is at least been true for me.
Very well said, Jenson. So is there any instant where something you have learned in Toastmasters has actually helped you in your business?
A lot of things actually. A lot of things that I have learned in Toastmasters have helped me not only in business but in everyday life. And communication is key. Now, the more we speak does not mean the more our listeners understand it. So that is something I've realized. Speak what is necessary, and what is more important than what you speak is to make sure that what you intend to convey is being understood by your listener. So that will also help you speak with more clarity. That is something I've done. There are many techniques to do that. I'm sure being a Toastmaster yourself, you also have gone through that learning experience and the meetings we have and the education sessions we go through. But that is one of the biggest values or biggest lessons or realizations rather, I would say I've had in my journey as a Toastmaster.
Yeah, you're right, Jenson. I mean, Toastmasters have really helped me in actually helping me in my communication skill. So you're absolutely right over there. Speaking about the clarity, today you are into packaging industry where sustainability is a hot topic. So if I ask you that, how can you actually explain sustainability to a layman? Then in just 10 seconds or 15 seconds, then what will you say?
Sustainability in its simplest form is the rewards I get should not cause harm to you. Now what happens is, let us take the example of plastic bags, plastic shopping bags. We know many countries worldwide are banning plastic shopping bags because of its adverse effects on the environment in the long run. But as a consumer, I would really love to have plastic shopping bags because it makes my shopping habits much more convenient, much more lazy, and I don't have to have the struggle of carrying reusable bags, right? So it is convenient for me. So that is my reward as a consumer. For the supermarkets or the retail outlets, they can afford to offer this to their customers for free because it is really cheap for them to offer.
Exactly.
And for the plastic packaging companies, they can afford to supply it in big volumes because there are many people who want it. So it helps their business. Now the thing is, these are the rewards we have. I have as a consumer, the rewards the retail outlets has in terms of offering it for a very cheap price or at almost free of cost. And even for the packaging companies in the volumes that they supply, these are the rewards we all have. But it is coming at a big cost. In the sense, it is causing harm to our planet, to our future generations. Now when we say this, the sad part is the harmful effects of this is not immediate and it is not revolving around an individual. The pain is not mine alone.
Exactly.
So when the pain is everybody's, there is no pain.
I mean, immediately there is no pain.
There is no pain. So we always tend to act when the pain is immediate, when the pain is ours alone. But when even our neighbors are going through the same pain, it becomes, it is easier to accept that as norm. And that acceptance is no longer acceptable.
Very true. That acceptance is no longer acceptable. And I like what you said, that it should not be, our reward should not be coming from someone else's pain or harm. Jenson, I would really like to understand that as a sustainable packaging consultant, how do you identify yourself in terms of your personal beliefs and values?
So, my identity wouldn't be a sustainable packaging consultant. That is one thing I do. That is because and that is something I do because of who I am, because of something I believe in. Fundamentally, I think I would be more of a problem solver because growing up, or even in the decisions I've taken, it has all been around being able to identify problems and being able to see the opportunity in solving those problems. And being in the packaging industry for so many years, so I come from a third generation family of printing and packaging business.
Okay.
But I'm not part of the family business. No, Carbon is my own consulting firm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So being part of the industry for so long, having grown up in the industry, if someone like me is not taking the initiative to address the consequences of unsustainable packaging, what hope do I have of somebody outside the industry taking that initiative? That is what drove me to use my experience, to use my knowledge, and to use my drive in addressing a much bigger cause.
Taking an initiative with that clarity shows you the kind of leader you are actually. So speaking about the leadership quality, Jenson, as an entrepreneur and a mentor in TGIS, what do you think a few specific skills today's leaders need?
Leadership is an outcome, right? I don't call myself a leader. You are the one calling me a leader. That is because of the way I have involved myself, or the way you have seen me involve myself with the members and with the activities around the club. That has been your point of interaction with me. And what makes me involved in these activities are a few things that I would say that has worked. One is being willing to listen. Whoever is around you, if they have something to tell you, be willing to listen. The second would be listening, but at the same time showing respect or giving respect rather. It does not matter where you are on the ladder. It does not matter what your achievements are or what your struggles are. It does not matter how you look or how you dress. Respect is non-negotiable. You have to show respect, you have to give respect. And that comes not as a leader, that comes as an individual. So that is a value that I've been taught from my family, and that is one of the core values even in our business at Carbon. So to listen, to respect, and if I were to suggest or if I were to share one more, that would be being honest, being truthful. Because it is easy to say what the other person wants to hear. It is always challenging to say what the other person needs to hear.
Exactly.
So if you have the courage, if you have the strength to be honest in the way you communicate, and if you are able to communicate that by respecting the other person, and after having listened to what they have to say, that makes you an effective leader, is what I believe. At least that has worked for me.
So people, now I got the recipe to be a Jenson. You have to be honest, respectful for everyone, and listen what others have to offer. So during your tenure as a Vice President Education in TGIS, share any of your challenges which you have faced and how you overcome it.
Challenges, there were many, and I must also say I didn't overcome it myself. I had a great ExCom team with me. Sachin was our president at that time, and his leadership is something that inspires me even today, the way he handled the team. A few things I believe I did right as the Vice President Education was before I became the Vice President Education, we have that 1 month where the election is complete and before we take up the role. So in that 1 month, I think it was towards the end of May. So I had made a plan for the meetings up to December. So I still see that in my laptop in one of the folders when I go through some other files. There is the chart I made 31st May 2018, I think. 31st May 2018, where I have made the plan from July 1st, the first meeting of July all the way till the last meeting in December, with the speakers, the evaluators, and the Toastmasters will be sorted. And then I reached out to many of these members, not many, in fact I reached out to each member before my term began to understand what their plans were. Many didn't want to renew, many had different plans, their careers were taking them different places. So that gave me a lot of clarity on how to go about with the plan, how to go about with the execution of it. That I believe made my life a lot easier as the Vice President Education once I became VPE. Challenges also were many. Now there were, so that was a time of transition within Toastmasters. So Toastmasters until then was following a particular curriculum, let us say. And there were many Toastmasters who've been members for many years and were following this particular curriculum towards a journey in being a distinguished Toastmaster. Now distinguished Toastmasters, we complete a curriculum with certain criteria. And that is the graduation, right? That is the graduation in Toastmasters. Now, Toastmasters came up with this notice saying that the old curriculum will be stopped completely,
Okay.
And whoever has to finish the old curriculum to become distinguished Toastmaster, they're given 1 or 2 years timeline. And after that, it will be the new curriculum. So what happens is, if I've been a Toastmaster for 5 years before that, and I've been following the old curriculum, I would have had to complete at least 70 speeches or 70 projects, 70 plus projects, I'm not sure how many, but somewhere around there, to become a distinguished Toastmaster. Now it takes at least 5 years if you do it properly, at least. But then the new curriculum pathways was much more easier. It was different in many ways. And in pathways we had to complete just 30 projects or something to become a distinguished Toastmaster. I'm not sure with the numbers, but somewhere around there. Now imagine someone who has done, out of the 70 projects, someone who has done say 25 projects, 30 projects. That is what is required in pathways to become distinguished Toastmaster. Someone has done that and they have to complete the remaining 30, 40 projects in a year and a half. That is not easy.
Oh.
Yeah, and we had a very a member I look up to, a very good member of the club, and that member was in this situation. So it was only I felt it was only fair and natural to help that member complete the journey by giving them more speaking opportunities. And when I started giving them more speaking opportunities, the other members didn't like it.
Oh.
Because the other members were saying, you're not giving a fair opportunity to everybody. And I had 2 options in front of me. I could try to make every member in the club happy by listening to what they had to say, or I had to put my foot down and flex my muscles as with the power I had as the Vice President Education at that time. So what I told every member that came to me with this complaint was, do you want a slot? Do you want to speak? If you want to speak, you ask me for your slot and I will give you your slot. What I do with the other slots is nobody else's business.
Absolutely.
And that was not easy. that was not taken well. But that is what I did. And today, of course, that member did complete the journey, became a distinguished Toastmaster because of the plan we created at that point. That makes me happy even today to know that a decision I took with the responsibility I had in me has helped somebody complete their journey with the constraints and the challenges that were there at that point in time. So to any aspiring VPEs out there, any aspiring Vice President Educations out there, the role comes with a lot of power. And if you are focused on the member's journey, you will find the courage to say no to whatever challenges that come to stop you. You will find the courage to overcome those challenges, because it is always about the member. The member's progress single-handedly depends on the Vice President Education. There is no other officer in the entire ExCom that has that kind of influence on the member's progress. So that is one thing I'm really, that is an experience I cherish close to, saying no when it matters, and helping the member completing their journey. That also made me realize I don't have to please everyone. And that is a big lesson that I apply to my business even today. As a leader, there are customers who come with unreasonable demands. And it is okay to say no.
It is okay to say no. So speaking about that, what vision do you have in terms of Toastmasters? Do you have any vision in your mind?
As a member myself, my objective with continuing with Toastmasters, I took a break in between. So let me tell you my experience there as well. I took a break a couple of years ago after I completed my tenure as area director. And I came back to Toastmasters a year and a half later. And I realized public speaking, though many have told this before, many have said this before, this is something I experienced firsthand. Public speaking is like working out. It is a muscle. You have to keep working it out. So the more you practice, the more you speak on stage, the more you get feedbacks, the better speaker you become. And today, whether you are a professional, a business owner, or whatever you do, whatever it is that you do, we can't escape communication. Communication matters today, especially when there are so many channels, so many options to communicate to a much bigger audience. The way we communicate plays a big role. So there's no better platform I have encountered to keep practicing my communication skills. And one of the reasons I've come back to Toastmasters is to simply practice my skills. There is, I don't have any other agenda at this point, because the more I practice my skills, the more I will be able to apply the benefits of it in my business, and the more I can create a forceful good. So these are the options I have in front.
So that's a vision, to just work on your communication skills and power those muscles which actually help you to do that.
Yes.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, be a professional or in your personal life, communication actually plays an important role. I also felt it in my professional life, that is the one thing. But how to deal even with my children or with a husband, I mean, the communication actually is the key for all those things. So yes, so everyone out there, if you're looking to improve your communication skill, Toastmaster is the place. I've also gone through your profile, LinkedIn profile, and I saw that you have actually started a movement called Packet Right. Tell us something more about it.
The idea of Packet Right was or is to involve consumers, individuals, to start voicing their opinions or their feedbacks on the way products are packaged. Like when we order something online, if you're ordering a dress or you're ordering an electronic item, when we get it, we often post reviews about the product,
Exactly.
right? Our experience, the quality of the product. But we also have the power to post reviews around the packaging. And today, products are being judged based on the quality of the product, and that is fine, that should be there. But I think it's time consumers like you and I have start voicing our feedbacks on the packaging too. Because packaging is the third biggest, I would not even say third biggest, it is perhaps even bigger than that. A third of the world's pollution is used packaging. Products we buy, we throw the packaging away, that contributes a third of the world's pollution. That is something that can be avoided. I'm not saying we should take it to zero. It can be minimized because a lot of that is unnecessary. And brand owners or product manufacturers will not take an action on that until they realize that is what their customers want.
Exactly, it can be minimized, that's what you're trying to say. Have you seen any difference since you have started this movement?
The movement was started a few months ago, but keeping the movement aside itself, we do see a lot of change in the mindset, a lot of change in the thinking amongst consumers, especially the younger generation. They are more mindful and they're willing to walk away from brands that don't have better sustainable practices.
Exactly.
Also, not only consumers, we also see a lot of change amongst policymakers, amongst world leaders, who realize, okay, we can't continue the way things are going, and let us take the initiative. Let us bring in some change. That is why we see so many countries today bringing in policies to ban single-use plastic bags or phase out single-use plastic products. UAE is one of the best examples we have today. They've already come up with a 3-year plan to phase out all kinds of single-use plastics.
Yeah, even they're making a smaller community of sustainable city also, which is
Yes. Sustainable city is beyond packaging. That is also how the power is generated. That is also how the water is being used amongst households. It is about creating a whole ecosystem. So they're creating a model now. And once we have successful models, then it is a matter of how do we scale it into bigger communities. And it is good to see governments of different countries taking a serious initiative in this direction.
excellent, actually. So speaking about that, do you have a particular ask from this younger generation, today's generation?
Be brave. If you see something that is not good for the planet, don't wait for that problem to become yours individually. Be brave enough to address that. So that is the only ask I have.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jenson. So Jenson, you are a very active part of Toastmasters in TGIS also, or otherwise also in Toastmaster community. How do you think that we can implement this sustainable packaging in our Toastmaster community?
One is, of course, avoid plastics, because I've seen in many of our meetings, or in generally Toastmaster meetings, we have a coffee break. I'm not saying you should skip the coffee break, no. That is, we can have the coffee break, but we use a lot of plastic cutlery in there. That is unnecessary. I mean, even giving the option of plastic cutlery is unnecessary, because what happens is, most of the times nobody uses the plastic cutlery. But the packet is opened and the cutlery remains there. That cutlery did not get used. So we do not use the cutlery, but at the same time, we are forced to dispose it. That is unnecessary. Over 100 clubs in the country, which meets once every 2 weeks. If each of this club is able to make a small initiative like this, that itself is 2,000 plastic cutlery packets saved every month.
So why not start a movement for Toastmasters? What do you say?
And that is the question I would want to ask you.
Yes. So this is for all the Toastmasters. We have to ask you that is it possible to cut down all the plastics from the Toastmasters? Give it a thought. Jenson, you are a very active member in Toastmasters, whatever I have seen. Even in TGIS, you are quite regular with the meetings. You are a mentor for many, actually. I know that. I have also got a chance to mentor one of my speech with you, and it was amazing. Thank you so much for that. Also, you are a fitness enthusiasm, what I have heard. You are a businessman, an entrepreneur, a doting father, a family man. How you get the time to take care of all those activities? Please share. We would all wanted to have that in our life.
I do not know if I get the time. So the truth is there. But again, I don't aim to balance my life. My aim is not to make sure I have time for everything. As I said earlier, I do one thing at a time, because that is my limit. I cannot do too many things at the same time. So I do one thing and I do it with focus.
Yeah, I mean, in today's world, I do see that people are juggling between two jobs or two things, and that actually makes you do nothing or not able to actually concentrate in both the things. So thank you so much, Jenson, for sharing that. So if I would ask you to explain yourself or describe yourself in just one word, what would that be?
Curious.
Oh wow, this is something I didn't know that. I mean, it didn't seem like very curious to me. You always seem very composed and calm. So good to know that. This was our segment 1. The next segment is an exciting one, and that is a rapid fire round. So, are you ready, Jenson, for the rapid fire round?
Let's find out.
I want you to be rapid and fiery. So let's go for it. Okay, so I'll ask the question and I want you to answer it as rapid as possible. So the first question, what is the one thing about you that might surprise others?
I can be lazy.
Oh, that is quite surprising to me. The second one, what is your guilty pleasure when it comes to food?
Dark chocolates.
Oh wow, I love dark chocolates. Who doesn't actually? If you could have a chance to have dinner with any historical figure, who would that would be?
I would say Mahatma Gandhi maybe.
Oh.
I have my reasons, but since it's rapid fire. Let's get going.
So not just one dinner is going to serve you. You need to have morning breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Yeah, and I have no intentions of meeting him immediately for that. So.
We understand that, yes, Jenson. So the next one is, what is the one thing from your bucket list you haven't had the chance to do it yet?
Go scuba diving maybe.
Oh, you haven't done it yet.
No.
Okay. A quick one. Glass, paper or bioplastic?
Glass.
What is your favorite way to unwind and relax after a busy day?
Sleep.
Okay. Best time to do that, yes. Best advice ever received?
Trust yourself.
Yes, trust yourself. Any regrets in your life?
No. I would probably make the same mistakes if I had to go back and live my life.
You will make the same mistake?
In the sense, I am where I am today because of the journey I've gone through.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what I thought were mistakes were necessary for the lessons I had to learn.
Right. So you don't want to change anything. You are.
Yeah. And I would rather accept life the way it comes and see what is in store for me.
Oh, that's good. Accept the life as it comes. The next one is, what is the most extravagant purchase you have ever made and you thought that it is worth it?
Maybe the Vikings.
Oh wow.
And it isn't extravagant, but
It's definitely different.
it is
actually.
different, and I enjoy it. I enjoy wearing it, walking around in it. But there are many good purchases I've made. None of them I think are extravagant. I mean, I spend a lot of money on education, on courses, on books.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are extravagant. This I can do without, but I like.
You like it?
I like it so.
Wow, yeah, it is interesting. I think we should have a discussion around this sometime.
Yeah, maybe.
The last one, Jenson, for you. What is the one misconception people often have about you that you would like to set straight?
People think I know too much.
I think you know too much. Thank you so much, Jenson. That was a rapid fire for us. And with that, we have come to our today's end of the podcast. Thank you so much for your time, Jenson. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I had blast over here. Thank you so much, Jenson, for your time. Keep watching TGIS ToastCast. Till then, bye.